Okay, another quick short video. So this is my 390. I still have the OEM header. Uh, this actually looks pretty good, to be honest, considering I had this thing wrapped, and when I lived in Rhode Island it snowed and whatnot, and considering what everybody was freaking out about when I initially wrapped it, which was that thing's gonna rust into pieces. It's honestly just a bunch of surface rust. It doesn't even look that bad. So anyways, today's project is fairly simple. So as you guys know, I did a bunch of work to this thing. I don't know if we can see the, let's take a look. Okay, that's the exhaust port. Let's see, how's that looking in there? Not too bad. So what I wanted to do was get the exhaust pipe out and do some work on that. So fairly simple O2 sensor, and you just undo the 4 radiator nuts. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. By the way, same concept too. If you are doing your valve checks, you can do the same thing. I just undo this and then slide it forward, and it gives you enough room back there to be able to do your exhaust valve clearances with no issues at all. So with that being said, the goal today was to clean up some of the slag and the transition here. Now I'm not going to really have, I don't have a before, but you can look it up online or just look at your exhaust. But there was a lot of that, what you can see is it's all weld, and it was an insane amount. I mean, a lot. And you know, in the name of flow, everything kind of, it's all cumulative returns, and so a little bit here and there eventually adds up. So when I decided to pull this out, it doesn't take very long, and then basically hit it with the Dremel, cleaned it up as much as I could, hit it with some sanding wheels, try to even it out, and then just make it to where it's a nice flowing piece in that area. And that's pretty much it. Let's see how difficult this thing is to kind of slide into place. Up, and as you can see, I had to take my bar off there. Just gonna rotate that a little, and that's about it. I'll just gotta get that top part lined up. Let's see. I gotta put this down for a second. And there it is. Easy. So if you have a bar, you're gonna probably want to take that off because the bottom of the header was contacting here. At some point I'll look into getting a aftermarket header. They have one that they sell that flows a lot better, and it doesn't have this little bump right here. But you know, at some point I'll be getting that. I already spent a ton of money on this thing recently, so we'll see. At some point I'll go ahead and get that knocked out, and then see how she does. I saw somewhere online, a good buddy of mine, Andrew, he races 390s up in Canada, but he showed me a link where there was like a 1.4 horsepower gain or something like that, which on a small motor like that, that's a pretty decent number. And like I said before, it's all about cumulative returns at this point, right? So every little thing adds up and comes out to something. So, but yeah, that's it. Just a short, to the point, simple video. It's something that pretty much anybody can do, and I'd say probably about 45 minutes, and work on getting some of that cleaned up. The exhaust on this thing is probably the most restrictive out of the entire bike. Intake port, as I talked about some of my other videos, not a lot of restriction in that other than the throttle body itself, which at some point we'll be doing a throttle body porting. Exhaust port, super restrictive. Exhaust valve size, those are pretty small too. So anything you can do to kind of free that up. Now, that's not to be confused with doing too much, because you don't want to reduce back pressure by a crazy amount, because these single cylinder engines rely heavily on back pressure. So but if you have a free flowing exhaust like I've had on this before, it will blow out your eardrums and you will feel a huge difference. So there's definitely some room for improvement, and there's definitely room where the bike will still continue to produce more power than it did before. Just keep in mind, you also need to make sure you have fueling. So, all right, that's it, guys. Have a good one.